Welcome back. This is Jack. Let's get started. In this episode of the Geek's Perspective, we're going to be talking about Batman and his contingency plans. This artwork is actually specifically from the Tower of Babel, and that's where I'm going to be drawing a lot from the contingency plans that he has, because that's where it was first introduced. Now, if you're someone who doesn't want to read comic books, there is the Justice League Doom movie, which actually goes over a lot of it, though the plans do differ, so keep that in mind. It's no secret that Batman has contingency plans for everybody. Every member of the Justice League and every hero he encounters, he creates a plan. Now, even one for himself, which he's labeled under the Detective, which is the Justice League itself. Worth mentioning, so because Superman does accost him for that one, saying you didn't have a plan for yourself. The actual wording of it is, remember, he's only human. He'll try to make you forget that. So, really ominous. Anyway, now, Batman's plans are not meant to kill anybody. They are not heartless. They are very heartless, though. They take a person's power and their strengths and use it against them, something very Batman-esque. Some of them include Superman's. He created a form of kryptonite, which doesn't do what green kryptonite and strip him of his powers or make him weak. Instead, does the opposite. It makes Superman's skin transparent, allowing him to absorb sun radiation at a much higher level, effectively overcharging him and making him and it hurts him. Think of it as you flexing a muscle for too long. That's what it was doing to him. He was unable to do anything for fear of hurting everyone and himself, taking advantage of both of his strength and his desire to protect people. For Plastic Man, or Elongated Man, it's Elongated Man. No, it's Plastic Man, sorry, I apologize. He froze him, allowing him to be broken into many different pieces. While he was frozen and broken in many pieces, he wasn't dead, he just couldn't do anything. Aquaman, he was even more heartless, using Scarecrow fear toxin to make him afraid of water, the very thing he needs to survive, not just because he's like us and needs to drink, but he actually needs it to help him breathe. His skin will dry out. And the only person who could have helped him during this time was Martian Manhunter, his skin was being turned into a form of magnesium, constantly relighting it on fire. Fire being Martian Manhunter's biggest weakness, causing him to constantly run around as a human on fire, screaming in pain. Going in water wouldn't even stop it because it was a form of Class Delta fire, meaning it was just continuously burning as long as it wanted to burn. This was eventually saved by Superman, detected by Superman, and Batman was able to counter it because he did have a counterplan for his counterplan. Batman was not nice to anybody. I think the worst person he was to, at least to me, was Flash. He gave him epileptic seizures at the speed of light. The Flash actually described it later on. The first year wasn't so bad, it was the following 10. He had only been having a seizure for 5 minutes. So think about that, because his perception of time does slow down while he's in that mode. Kyle Rayner, the current Green Lantern at the time, he was just rendered blind. And how he did it was through a form of hypnosis, convincing him that he was blind, therefore the ring making it real. Wonder Woman ended up just fighting a VR enemy of hers that was equally matched, and it was never ending. The Doom movie actually does do a good job of replicating that, but instead of it being one enemy, it's multiple enemies. So, there you go. She ends up getting saved by, I believe, Cyborg in the Doom movie, and I can't remember who saves her in the actual comic book. So, but it is called the Tower of Babel. Basically, the Cliff Note version of that is Ra's al Ghul has decided he wants to create a tower that takes away everybody's ability to speak, so he can destroy the world like he normally does. It's a very good comic. I highly recommend it. It's one of 2 JLA comics I usually recommend to people. Anyway, this has been Jack with the Geek's Perspective. If you like my work, if you like me breaking down different concepts and different things in the comic book community and the geek community as a whole, please like, subscribe, and share so you can be alerted when I release additional content. And then please take care of yourself during this quarantine. Wash your hands and don't touch your face. All that good stuff. Now, even if you don't care if you get sick, I'm pretty sure there's somebody you don't want to get sick. So please, take care of yourself and help flatten that curve. Thank you.